Bonjour tout le monde! Aujourd'hui, on est à Paris pour voir tous les monuments historiques et explorer cette ville magnifique. Tout d'abord, on va monter au sommet de la Tour Eiffel pour admirer la vue panoramique de Paris. Mais après, j'aurai trop faim, alors j'aurai besoin d'une baguette délicieuse avec du jambon et du fromage.
Chandra,
Oui?
eating baguettes by the Eiffel Tower doesn't count as an extracurricular activity.
Hello and welcome back to your friendly neighborhood college counselor, here to simplify college admissions for you. In our last video, we discussed the college application essay, a major component of the application. But your application is so much more than that. And that brings us to the activity list. This is a set of 10 extracurricular activities in which you name and briefly describe your non-academic pursuits throughout high school. This is supposed to be a brief, efficient summary of what you've done, an area where your profile really does emerge. But why is the activity list important? As you saw in our video about how AOs score your application, you are rated on your extracurricular activities, which are largely conveyed through the short list. You only get 150 characters for each entry on the activity list, so the pressure's on to make a stellar first impression. Here are some tips you must know while crafting your common application activity list. And these tips are still applicable even if you're applying through the Coalition portal, UC portal, or any other application system. Stick around till the end to learn the biggest mistakes students make on their activity list that send their application straight to the rejection pile. But before we jump in, make sure to hit the subscribe button to get all the latest on how to conquer the college applications game. Let's go. Tip number 1, start with a powerful action verb. Always. Don't waste precious space with full sentences and punctuation. For example, you want to start with these strong verbs like led a team of 30, recruited 250 volunteers, designed activist clothing line, raised 50,000 rupees for COVID relief, conceptualized. These types of verbs will really go far in making your activity list stand out. Tip number 2, point to quantitative, measurable impact and highlight external validation wherever possible, especially when you're talking about social impact. Essentially, you have to focus on results or output of the activities using figures, data, and statistics. For example, instead of writing, "I teach kids computers," you can try, "I taught weekly free Python course to over 400 students in 10 plus countries, created curriculum, raised $2,700 to fund learning center for underprivileged kids." Some examples of external validation are soloed at Carnegie Hall, worked with award-winning filmmaker, 2-time national policy debate champion, winner of Diana Award or MYP grant. Tip number 3, order your activities from the most powerful and important and recent activity to the least. The first activity on your list should be the one you are most proud of. Ideally, it would be your profile-defining capstone project. For example, if you started your own company, led a social impact initiative, or constructed a new product, you'll always want to put that right up top. Also, keep in mind that the first activity should likely be the one with the longest duration to demonstrate your commitment, passion, and ability to follow through. Tip number 4, emphasize key values and personal qualities like leadership, community orientation, collaboration, or communication skills. For example, instead of participated in the Women's Empowerment Club, try enabled rural women artisans to market and sell to 3,000 customers online, launched marketplace to reuse 80 household items, 1,000 masks among 100 locals. This type of language displays a much higher degree of proactive engagement rather than simple participation. And finally, tip number 5, aim for variety, but have a clear, cohesive theme. We've talked in the past about the importance of your personal brand in your extracurricular profile. This, of course, applies to your activity list too. If you have a diverse, well-rounded set of activities, that's great, but we still want to see a consistent theme running throughout, which screams, "This is who I am, and this is why I'm special." Now that we've covered everything you must do, here are the biggest mistakes you definitely want to avoid in your activity list. Number 1, feeling pressure to fill every single of the 10 slots. It's always quality over quantity. Number 2, Include activities you didn't do in high school. Nobody cares about the piano class you took in 2nd grade. Number 3, forget to proofread. At the highest level of competition, every single error or typo will cost you. Number 4, using words like member or participated in. This really lacks that kind of proactive engagement colleges are looking for. Switch these terms out for stronger action verbs like spearheaded, conducted, instituted. Number 5, using exaggerations or even stretching the truth. Academic integrity is of the highest importance, and the second an AO gets a whiff that you might be inflating your accomplishments, your application will get tossed out quicker than the baby with the bathwater. I have a cautionary tale for you. I once knew a student who had participated in some amazing activities. She was school president, a club founder, nonprofit volunteer, intern, and she had a perfect GPA and test scores. When she was applying to the highly selective universities, she got accepted to many. But once her applications were submitted, one admissions officer noticed that the application details didn't quite line up with her counselor recommendation letter. And after doing some research, there were even more inconsistencies. When the student was confronted, she confessed that she had stretched the truth. As a result, all of that student's acceptances to her top universities were rescinded. Not only that, it also damaged the school's reputation and her relationship with her counselor and principal. So please, don't lie on your activities list, and don't even think of stretching the truth. The same goes for your essays too. But I know you knew this already. Now it's your turn. Get started by downloading our free activity list template in the description that comes complete with a list of action verbs for you to choose from. That's all for this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below whether you think traveling to Paris can count as an extracurricular. I sure do. N'oubliez pas de pratiquer votre langue étrangère avant qu'aller étudier à l'étranger. Il suffisait de te parler pour t'apprivoiser. Parara, oh, Champs-Élysées, parara, oh, Champs-Élysées, parara. Au soleil, sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées.